Welcome to Positive Waves. My name is Matthew Collinson, and this is my great friend.
Joseph Soma.
So I thought it'd be appropriate to talk about relationships, and I don't necessarily mean romantic ones, just relationships as a whole. It can be with your significant other, or it could be other examples of relationships, like with our children, or like with general society, or the people that you're bringing into your world, and that kind of thing. I think relationships is a topic, especially when we talk about like love, which is what this month's really known for, that this would be a good way to go for this Hallmark holiday coming up.
Right? Yeah, and I agree. I mean, it's February. We got to jump on that cliche bandwagon and do that, self love or just recognition of love because it's that month, it's that season, and a lot of us like to call that whole Valentine's Day thing a Hallmark holiday, but a lot of us do truly take it to heart and truly want to further express more than they do on a regular basis. And I know some relationships only really see those fun times during those holidays, and that's not the greatest thing. I mean, when you're in a relationship with someone, you should celebrate them as often as possible. I mean, daily if you can. And sometimes that may feel weird, but at the same time, when you don't express or recognize that love you have for your partner, do you really love her? Is she really, or are they really that significant in your life to not put that step forward and then express?
Yeah, that's kind of why I like significant other. And as far as the meaning, when you talk about like that person that you find so special in life that you want to spend as much time as you can with them in life, it's kind of how I started off with my wife. Also, everybody tune in till the end because that's when Joe will be doing his card pull. So it's always funny how those match up with whatever it is we're talking about somehow, some way. So it'll be a fun one, and that's the Rebel deck today.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I love pulling from the Rebel deck for our call. It's got that sarcasm, that slight little bit of attitude that we all tend to have in life. And when you can laugh about things, it just makes the day go by better.
I fully agree, man. So yeah, that's how I kind of started with my wife too. It was a matter of I find you so significant, and she was a mom, single mom at the time. So I also had to bring in the thought of, well, if I'm going to love this woman, then I also have to love her children as well because that comes as one package, guys. So like you have to be like pretty open and honest about that with yourself and we had conversations about that as well. So we kept it on open communication as a thought that goes through your head. I think that it's important for relationships of any kind that you keep an open communication of some kind. You can tell when a relationship is starting to get a little rocky or your communication gets worse and worse, like, or none at all. Or maybe it's just an ignoring thing, or maybe it's not even an acknowledging of existence thing anymore. It just is the way of life. I'm afraid people come and go in our lives throughout the entire thing. So
Yeah, and definitely want to throw out there. I know I've said this many times before, but part of communicating is not only speaking or talking, but it's also listening. If you're not listening to what your partner's saying, you're not really, in all honesty, you're not giving a flying fuck about what they're saying or their life, and that can crush your partner. So definitely want to take the time to actually listen to your partner when something's going on. For you, it may be a small little who gives a fuck, but to them, it could be that thing that's crushing them at that point in life. And definitely want to be able to give and receive in the relationship as well as communicate and listen. It's all beneficial.
yeah, I think there's definitely a balance of all of that. All of it really. I mean, that's just kind of how life goes. I feel that was one of the biggest points of realization that I came to as I was getting into a new relationship too with my wife now 15 years ago. So a long time ago. But it's just like when I love somebody, I love them so hard, so fully. Like that's just the way I am, and I am okay with that. And there's no question about it. at all ever in my life. And when we go to live this adventure of life, people always get caught up in, I spend too much time at the office, I spend too much time in a career, I spend too much time doing these other things in order to get to the point to where you want to spend time with a loved one at the end of your life. To me, it's backwards. Like it was always backwards. So I made it a real effort to be here, be at the house, be around the house because of that time. Because time's the most important thing we have. We only have so much of it, at least in this life that we know of.
Yeah, no, and when it come to me and my significant other, my partner, she asked me out and looked her dead in the eye and said, no, wasn't ready, did not want a relationship. I was at a point in life where I was still finding me. I was still accepting myself and who I was while still finding who I was, to be honest with you. I don't know, that seems to be a never ending story, to be honest with you. You're always finding that deeper sense of self. But I was just in a place where I wasn't seeking, wasn't looking. And here we are about a year and a half in, and things are absolutely amazing. Granted, every new relationship, there's always those rocky roads. Got to communicate better, got to let yourself be heard. Don't shy or cower it out because, oh, they're not listening. Allow yourself to be heard. Tell that person, hey, I'm trying to tell you something that's, crushing me, that you're not listening to, what I'm speaking from my heart or something. If you're not allowing yourself to be heard, you can't get mad at them if they're not hearing you. So it's a difficult situation, but be brave, be strong, stand up for yourself, because if not, you're going to get walked all over.
Super valid that, man. I think that's true in any relationship though, even like business relationships, friend relationships, affiliate relationships. I mean, there's so many different kinds of relationships out there nowadays, especially with the dawn of the internet. I mean, for God's sakes, you can connect with people around the world and talk about any subject that you want and go to town, like have fun with it. It's
Right.
so fun. Like you, I met you online. I didn't know you before.
Right. Some online platforms filled with amazing people. And, look what we're doing a year later, year and a half later, and knowing each other.
Yeah, dude. And this is
Man,
just
freaking
one.
fast.
This is one example. This is one project that I work on, and this is a blast. I love doing this kind of work because I get to connect with so many people around the world. We're going to have some more guests coming up too, guys. So definitely stay tuned for those. I just put out the episode with Mary Frances from last week, and that was a great episode, I think. What do you think, Joe?
I love that call. That was an amazing chat. I just the whole recognition. I mean, I talk all the time about the four agreements and how powerful our word is, and it didn't even dawn on me with the power of the I am statements, and with how just that simple I am worthy statement could be a beneficial I am worthy or a very negative I am worthy. And I'm grateful Mary pointed that out to us and helped us to understand better how our words can truly impact where we are in our lives.
Yeah, I was just talking to a mutual friend of ours a little earlier today, Miriam, and she wants to come on the show. And she says about March, I believe she's going to have a nonprofit that she's launching. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's all about. So definitely subscribe and stay tuned to Positive Waves, guys, because we have some more amazing souls coming on here that will just change your life. They're just beautiful people.
Yeah, they changed my life there, Noble Goldman's. I'm forever grateful for that amazing platform and the amazing community that Mark Santos built.
Yeah, it's just so insane that we get to meet so many great people around the world on that platform and all the other platforms too. Really, like I met a ton of people through Facebook that I'm still bringing together, and we're still working on different projects. And then, as we develop these relationships, so again, back to the relationship thing, because that's what we're here to talk about, is that when you accept everybody and want to support everybody, your mindset changes. It can meet people where they're at. And when you meet people where they're at, as opposed to wanting them to be at, then it really shifts the dynamic of all of your conversations.
Yeah, that goes to the whole mindset mastery. You got to be fully aware of what you're doing, what you're saying, so you can bring about those best things into your life. And that's not just a relationship thing, that's every aspect of your life. And that again further falls back into the Four Agreements book, where you're using the word properly, appropriately, giving that great detail, and expressing what you need or what you're looking for, and just allowing that to manifest into your life.
Yeah, it's crazy when you just want to support people. Like, it really is. Like, I just want to help people grow and become better. Granted, like, it's the funny part about people is they say they want change and action and that kind of thing, but then they don't act upon that. Like, it's very rare that I find the person that acts. A person that really acted was Andrew. That guy took his dream to the next realm, man, and he's doing amazing on that. I think that's so cool. That was the Theory of Five stuff. So I think that when we just support each other in that dream, in that vision, in that goal, then you can raise all relationship dynamics wherever you go, wherever you're at.
Yeah, for sure. When you're focusing on the best thing, you're definitely not creating the worst case scenario. I'm not saying it can't happen, but
Well, sure.
what you need is always put before you. So if that worst case scenario comes in, definitely stay in the right mindset, the positive mindset, and realize there's a lesson going on here. I'm to learn, I'm to grow. Something good is going to manifest out of this difficult situation that arose.
Yeah. That's kind of what I look at mostly. Now, a lot of people have mistaken that for me burying my head in the sand kind of scenario, which I get and I see that, but it's not that I don't know what's going on. It's that I'm not focused on what's going on. I'm focused on what could be going on and what is possible, like what the solution is. Men are very oriented to the solution thing, that energy of man.
Right. Well, it's what you want to feed your energy. Do you want to feed the war going on right now? Not really. I prefer to see that come to an end rather than keep feeding it with throwing the negative vibration out there. We want to focus on what we're building, focus on what we're creating. Creating a great relationship is a great way to not have to live in that type of war scenario.
I agree. I think if more people could get into the mindset of being different, uh, instead of being different, that we are all more the same than you think we are.
Yeah.
Like, we really are. No matter where you grew up, what you're doing currently, we're all humans. We're all flying on a rock through space at a million miles an hour. That is the reality. We all bleed red. That is the reality. We're all on this adventure together. Like, I don't understand why people want to separate so badly when if we come together, we can create something so much more phenomenal in life.
Some people are only surface deep. Some people can't grasp the depth of certain scenarios. And I'm not saying it's bad. That's just where they're at in this point in time. And will they wake up one day and see that there's more to a situation? They may, but that's their choice. Some people just are happy with where they're at. We talked about embracing the suck. Well, some people embrace the suck so much they don't even realize they're living it anymore, and they call that their paradise.
Mm. Yeah, I think it is an awakening factor for sure. I think that awakening gets to the point to where it can be scary for people too, because it's different. You look at life much differently when you decide to look at it differently. I mean, that's just the way it is. Like, you can have one perspective, something automatically happens, you change your perspective because of that one action. That's that's kind of what awakening is. That's kind of it. Like, I'm not there yet either. I'm still working on all this stuff, by the way. It's like, I meditate, I do all that stuff, I exercise, I make sure that I'm taking care of my temple, kind of, and my mind and my spirit, intentionally, all the time.
That's the self love we need. But yeah, stepping into that shadow work, it definitely is scary. You're facing parts of yourself that you've ran from for who knows how long, and eventually there comes a point where we just say, I don't want to keep running. I'm done. And you go through that ugly moment, and then it doesn't really affect you ever like it used to. If you truly go through and do the shadow work, it's there. You may see another layer to work through, but that initial intensity is not as bad or not as scary. So I don't know if it made me stronger or braver to face those fears with more ease or how it works, but I know that definitely stepping into it has been the most beneficial thing because I'm no longer carrying it on my shoulders.
Yeah. I think you just spoke to an important part to that too, that self-love and I think part of what helped you through a lot of that though is also connecting with others who supported you in that path. And you were open to that vulnerability.
Yeah, vulnerability sure can suck though, can it?
Very much
But
so, up until it doesn't.
yeah, but speaking it out loud is definitely so healing that it becomes easier and easier for sure. You know, when you actually want to talk about those shit situations because you're so ready to no longer carry it with you, it becomes easier to talk about it. And it's gotten to the point where it's like, go to my partner, hey, I want to talk about something shitty that, I'm dealing with, and just let her prepare to receive or hear whatever I'm about to share.
Yep. I know, I do the same thing with Sarah, man. It's the same thing, like, I can talk to her about anything, and I do talk to her about everything if it comes to my mind anyway, or I'm thinking about it. It's cool, when you have a really open, communicative relationship because they'll point something out that you didn't even notice, and then you're like, "Oh, yeah, that's true. I should probably watch that piece."
Yeah, working through things is always fun, and it's great when you've got a great partner that you can bounce stuff off of without having fear of judgment or anything like that. Like that's one of the things I'm so grateful of with my partner when I finally agreed to start dating and all that. Well, actually, before that, we were just talking. We would talk quite often, and just sharing the hell that I've gone through and bouncing our stories back and forth with each other. It truly built a strong bond that I know it doesn't matter what the hell happened in my life. I can go to her. I just have to say, "Hey, I'm about to drop some heavy shit. Prepare yourself." And, we're good, and it's great to have that ability to just have someone there that I can talk to. I know when I was in that point where I was good alone, I was going alone, I spent so much time in my head that saying some of the things out loud when I finally did get to share, I was like, wow, that was not as cool as I thought it was in my head. But that's the power of the teamwork though. That's the power of having a great team is you can say those dumb things out loud and be like, oh yeah, I don't want to share that with the public. Let me rephrase that or let's rewrite that a better way.
Yeah. It's funny that you can rewrite things too, or at least begin the process of rewriting what it's all your programming in your head. Like we all have it from the time we were born. I mean, you're taking in everything that you experience in life. So no matter how old you are, you've taken in that many years of experience or that many this many days of experience. So because of that, you're molded into something. You're definitely like molded into something. Now, once you start choosing to step outside of that mold and choose new thoughts for yourself and move on to the next step of whatever that level is for you, it doesn't really matter. Pick one. Like, where do you want to go? You have to choose that you want something different, though, and you have to choose to take that next step. And that first step is always going to be your hardest step, but reach out to somebody who can help you with it.
Right? Mentors are amazing. Good close friends are just as amazing. Finding that soul tribe that you can speak to on a depth that most don't understand. It's so beneficial to not only your growth but the growth of the tribe.
Exactly, exactly. And we're one tribe on this world. That's what I don't again, that's why I want us all to like that's why I love people and I love people getting along with each other and I love supporting each other because of this reason. We are one tribe as humanity.
We all just have to learn to stop taking stuff so personal, allow others to have their own opinions and not let us get all butt hurt because they have their own opinions. you know, we all struggle with my way's the right way, and that's not necessarily true. I've had to eat my words multiple times about how this way is the best way to do it. Trust me, wow, did I get taught. But that's good though, because I learned new things and I learned to stop saying I know the best way. I know a way, but let's see what you know as well. And that definitely helps to create better relationships and you don't come off so egotistical or cocky or whatever the term is.
Yeah. I agree. I know I've been viewed that way sometimes, and I know I brought it on myself in that case multiple times. I use my for a long time. I used what I learned as a weapon as opposed to a support system for people. Um, and that was just part of me growing through my ego piece, like really bad, which I'm glad I've been like I drop it more and more every day. I feel this shifting happening kind of for me as it's going away because I'm like so much calmer in life. Like I found that inherent light within me that I know is there all the time.
Right? Allow yourself to step away from that low lying vibration and retrain the brain to think about, why do I want to react with anger? Why can't I just accept that their way's different than mine?
Exactly. And it's not any worse or better. It just is a different way. And I'm totally fine with that now. I love that about people actually. I'm like, oh, where are you at? And I normally attract like really good things. So it's not a
Right?
much of an issue anymore. I see you a shuffling. I think we're ready for your pull.
Flopping through, seeing what's going to pop out here and see what this says. Have you eaten? You're acting like a big ass baby. You need food in your belly. Eat a fucking taco. Well, I guess self care. A little bit of eating, a little bit of self care. And who doesn't love tacos? I mean, shit.
Tacos. I love tacos. Since the Rebel deck's telling us to get tacos, I guess we'll have to get tacos today. So
There's a great little taco truck down the street parked in front of a restaurant. Confuses me on the setup and layout, but hey, they got some great food.
my wife was just like, yes.
Oh crap. Yeah. I think every day should end with tacos, right?
Probably not for my diet.
Well, you could have fish tacos one day, chicken tacos another day, steak
Valid.
tacos another day. I haven't had pork tacos, but I'm sure you can make them. I mean, get creative.
Yeah, pork tacos. They have pork carnitas and stuff. uh, yummy, yummy. Actually, we just had some really good Mexican food the other day. It was delicious. And we had a couple margaritas to go with it. I had a spicy one. She had a mango one. Yeah. Do you like spicy food?
Not so much.
Not so
I'll,
much.
I'll
Not a
eat
spicy
some with a
fan.
little bit of flavor, but I'm not big on the spices. It's something my partner and I bicker back and forth about. Is I lightly season my stuff, and she's from the south where they heavily season their stuff, and there's times where I can't eat it. There's too much spice in it or something.
I think
I'm
I'd get
learning.
along with Darla.
I'm learning. I'm growing. It'll happen.
You just have to expand your palate a little bit.
Something will shift.
It's all good, man. I
Try
think
to
this
leave
was a great
something.
episode. I enjoyed doing this with you, man. It was good talking about relationships, both our loving relationships and our support system relationships.
Right. Dig a little deeper next week, maybe.
Yeah, and I like you touching on self-love. In fact, I want to bring that up. Joe and I were talking about an event this month, and we were talking about, since it's about love this month, essentially all the hearts and oh, I love you. Then we should do something on self-love, which I think both of us have a lot of experience in helping others grow into and ourselves as well. So we have a journey too, and I'd love to hear other experiences. So in order to partake in that, you do have to be one of our Wave or Above Patreon members. So please go there and sign up today.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Yeah, it'll be a great chat on self love. I mean, we can't really create a great relationship with someone else if we don't have a great relationship with our own self.
So with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm sending you positive vibes for an awesome 2023.
Appreciate it. Thank you all.
And please subscribe and like and share this with anyone you know. Have a wonderful day.